What is going on, guys? This is Soccer Mania here, back with another video. Join us now as we recap the second leg of the UEFA Champions League round of 16, as well as other news stories and rumors you need to know, including Ronald Koeman hopeful of Messi's stay, Brazil Stadium to be renamed, is Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo headed for a divorce, GOATs crash out of UEFA Champions League for the first time in 16 years, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for more videos. Now, the UEFA Champions League's round of 16 second leg was a thrilling clash that saw two of the world's best crashing out as Cristiano Ronaldo's Juventus were eliminated from the competition on away goal rule, despite beating FC Porto 3-2 to end on 4-4 after extra time, while Borussia Dortmund striker Erling Haaland struck twice to send his side into the last 8 after a thrilling 2-2 draw against Sevilla, but ending 5-4 on aggregate. Elsewhere, Barcelona did not get their comeback as poor finishes, including a penalty missed by Messi, saw them bowing out of the Champions League after a 1-1 draw against Paris Saint-Germain in France to be beaten 5-2 on aggregate, while Liverpool marched on to the last 8 after easily beating RB Leipzig 2-0 to go 4-0 on aggregate in Budapest. Elsewhere in the English Premier League, Manchester City bounced back from their derby defeat, beating Southampton 5-2 to go 14 points clear on top of the table. Now on to the news. Our first story looks at Ronald Koeman hopeful of Messi's stay. Barcelona boss Ronald Koeman says Lionel Messi can have no doubts over the great future the club has after they bowed out of the Champions League with a spirited performance at Paris Saint-Germain. Messi, who is 33, has won the Champions League with Barcelona on 4 occasions, outlined his frustrations at the Nou Camp last summer, and was heavily linked with a move to PSG prior to the last 16 tie. However, while the results saw Barca fail to reach the last 8 of the competition for the first time in 14 years, Koeman says the manner of their exit could help persuade the Argentine to continue his long association with the club. He says Leo has seen for quite some time that the team is improving thanks to all the changes we've made. Particularly, we have young players of great quality. We have got a future ahead. Leo can't have any doubts about what the future has for this team. We are departing this Champions League in a very different manner from the way we did last season. In this game, we hit our level, and that's the road we have to follow. But a day after watching his old nemesis Cristiano Ronaldo bow out of the competition with Juventus, Messi befell the same fate on what could yet prove to be his final Champions League appearance for Barcelona. His stunning 25-yard equalizer had given the visitors hope of staging a remarkable comeback, with Kylian Mbappe early putting the host in front against a run of play with a penalty. Koeman's side had arrived at the Parc des Princes, seeking to become the first side to overturn a 3-goal deficit from the first leg at home by delivering a performance on the scale of La Remontada. But some wasteful finishing, including a Messi penalty that was deflected by PSG goalkeeper Keylor Navas at the stroke of half-time, sealed their fate. Next up, Brazil Stadium to be renamed. Brazil's iconic Maracanã Stadium is to be named in honor of the country's legendary footballer Pelé. The move follows a vote by the Rio de Janeiro state legislature to change the venue's name to the Edson Arantes do Nascimento Rai Pelé Stadium. Edson Arantes do Nascimento is the 80-year-old's full name, while Rai means king in Portuguese. The Rio de Janeiro state governor must approve the name change before it becomes official. Now, Pelé, who won 3 World Cups as a player for Brazil, scored his 1,000th goal at the stadium in 1969 while playing for Santos against Vasco da Gama. The Maracanã held the 1950 and the 2014 World Cup finals, as well as the opening ceremony of the 2016 Olympics, with more than 200,000 spectators reported to have been in the stadium to watch Uruguay beat Brazil in the 1950 final, although its capacity is now 78,838. Now, before, it was named after Mario Filho, a journalist who lobbied for its construction in the 1940s. but was known as the Maracanã after the area in which it's located. Next up is Juventus and Cristiano Ronaldo headed for a divorce. What was once painted as the marriage of the millennium between Cristiano Ronaldo and Juventus seems destined to end in an unfulfilled divorce. When Juventus shelled out 341 million euros on transfer fees and wages to sign Ronaldo from Real Madrid in the summer of 2018, they did so for two main reasons. The first being, Juventus were chasing the holy grail of Champions League glory. This is a trophy that has eluded them since 1996, with 5 losing final appearances, and since then creating an obsession to win football's most prestigious club tournament. Ronaldo was signed to break this curse. He was Mr. Champions League. He won 5 titles, including last 3 in a row when he arrived in Turin. He was the competition's all-time top scorer and had broken Juve's hearts repeatedly over the years. He was the man to finally get the old lady over the line. Unfortunately, Juve's record in the Champions League since Ronaldo's arrival has been a disaster. They were eliminated in the quarter-final by Ajax in 2018-2019 before being humiliatingly dumped out in the last 16 by a crisis-hit Lyon team last campaign. And this term, they were eliminated again in the round of 16, this time at the hands of Porto, despite winning the match 3-2. Little of this is Ronaldo's fault. He has more than fulfilled his side of the bargain. Until Chiesa's away goal at Porto, Ronaldo had been the only Juventus player to score a knockout goal in the Champions League for almost 3 years. He scored all of 7 Juve's knockout goals in the past 2 seasons. Now, speaking to Corriere dello Sport, former Juventus legend Antonio Cassano said Juventus signed him to win the Champions League, but they have done worse with him than they've done before. They'd also won the Scudetto without him. I think he's been a failure. Now, this served to demonstrate just how reliant Juventus have become to Ronaldo. His performances in Turin have been simply world class. He has scored an incredible 91 goals in just 118 games. Now, Juve are unlikely to win even the Scudetto this season. Their 9-year winning streak is set to come to an end as they trail leaders Inter by 10 points, albeit with a game in hand. Now, from Ronaldo's point of view, he must ask himself whether it's worth spending the final years of his career at a club that's simply not at his level. He is 36 now, and he deserves to be playing in the Champions League semi-finals and finals. From Juventus' side, they need Ronaldo's salary off their books as they are to implement the kind of squad rebuild they so badly require. It is pointless having the best player in the world in attack if you have Rodrigo Bentancur, Adrien Rabiot and Weston McKennie supplying him, or if you have a rookie as your coach in Andrea Pirlo. But unless Juventus can miraculously win the Champions League, then Ronaldo's time at Juve will be seen as a gamble that failed, and perhaps it is time for the Bianconeri to swallow their losses and move on this summer. Now, what do you think? Should Cristiano Ronaldo leave Juventus? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, Goats crash out of UCL for the first time in 16 years. Juventus trail from their first leg, with Porto winning 2-1 in Portugal. Despite going down 1-0 in Turin, the old lady managed to take it to extra time thanks to 2 goals from Federico Chiesa, but Sergio Oliveira's late free kick condemned them to defeat. Rabiot's 118th minute goal gave Juventus hope, but they couldn't find another as they crashed out on away goals. And there was another big casualty on Wednesday as Barcelona and Lionel Messi were defeated by Paris Saint-Germain. Barca had a mountain to climb after a 4-1 loss in Catalonia. Their task was made even harder when Mbappe struck from the spot at the Parc des Princes, giving PSG a 4-goal advantage over 2 legs. Messi pulled one back with a quite incredible goal. The Argentine forward picked the ball up and unleashed a brilliant effort into the top corner from 30 yards. Now you should check that out. That is one of the best goals this season in the UEFA Champions League. And they were given yet more hope when they were awarded a penalty just before half-time. But Messi's spot kick was saved by Navas, meaning Barca had to score at least 3 goals in the second 45 minutes, and they failed to find another way past Navas as they crashed out of the competition. and an incredible start that has emerged following Barcelona's exit, as for the first time in 16 years, the Champions League quarterfinals will not feature Messi or Ronaldo. Now, in 2005, Messi's Barcelona were beaten 5-4 by Jose Mourinho's Chelsea on aggregate, while Ronaldo's Manchester United fell 2-0 over 2 legs at AC Milan. Now, it seems like it's an end of an era. Ronaldo is now 36, as Messi is a few months away from his 34th birthday. They have been at the summit of world football for so long, but it appears their powers are finally fading. Now, Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland are viewed as the incredible duo successors, as they both safely in their last 8, and maybe the torch has been passed on. But what do you think, guys? Is this time for Messi and Ronaldo to pass the torch to these two youth players? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, manager believes his team would go bang after COVID-19. Now, Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta believes Arsenal will go, quote, bang after the COVID-19 pandemic has eased, and is convinced their current league position does not tell the full story of their progress in recent months. Arsenal face Olympiacos in a Europa League last 16 first leg tie, and the Arsenal manager admits there is a score to settle after the Greek side shocked them last season at the preceding stage. European success looks fundamental to Arsenal's campaign and perhaps their long-term prospects, given they remain 10th in the Premier League. But Arteta thinks they are on the path to something spectacular. He says, and I quote, "We have created a really strong group, a really strong bond with our players, our fans, and our staff, and that is going to pay something big in the future when everything comes back to normality and we are able to work with some stability. I think this project is going to go bang. Sometimes it's difficult to see, but now I'm sure where we are going." Arsenal announced a €47.8 million loss last season, due in part to the impact of the pandemic's early months, and warned that those shockwaves are still being felt. It means there is little margin of error over the next 2.5 months. Failure to secure any kind of continental football for 2021-22 would affect Arteta's plans heavily, and he is concerned about the financial pressure. He continues to add, "I am, because I want a sustainable club. We all want a club that can be run with their own resources. Our responsibility and everything we are planning for the future is for this club to go back to being sustainable on its own and being as strong as possible in every department. The financial department is crucial as well." Arteta described the qualification for the Champions League, which would either be achieved by winning the Europa League or bridging a 12-point gap to the top 4 domestically, as difficult but possible, and said the money attached to it is really important for the club. And finally, Chelsea player to move on after rocky first season. Timo Werner's unproductive spell at Chelsea may be over after one season. The German international only signed from RB Leipzig ahead of this season, and he has largely underwhelmed with 5 goals from 27 Premier League appearances. Werner netted 28 Bundesliga goals for Leipzig in 2019-20, but that return has drastically fallen since moving to London. It is said there is a growing expectation that Werner will leave in the next year or two, despite their rival countryman Thomas Tuchel, who has led in a slight upturn in form. Now, Timo Werner may not be the only one headed for the Chelsea door, as Christian Pulisic, who was heavily influential last season, may also be targeted by other clubs and could be headed for the exit door. But there you have it, guys. The wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, as well as the recap of the UEFA Champions League round of 16 second leg. Be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos, and I'll see you next time with some more football content.